fit, so she's not here, so that's okay. But I hope my sister doesn't see this because my sister thinks that
Oh my
your
gosh.
bed is a reflection
Election,
on
right.
your whole life. And I'm like, really? I never make up my bed.
Your relationship with the Lord and all that other stuff
Right,
too. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And her bed always looked
It's
like it's been hung
immaculate.
in the
Like,
garden. That's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
Like it's out of a house decorating
That's
magazine.
like, you go sleep in that?
And
Wow. Yeah.
I just want to go and jump up on it, you know, just
Yeah. But Sybil, after the days that we've had, this it.
wow.
Not complaining, but just
No,
in
no, because
recognition of what the days have been.
we've been very fortunate to be in our partnership with the American Heart Association to be invited to their Red Dress Collection Week. And it is, for those of you who are familiar with it, this is American Heart Month. And it is a wonderful opportunity for the American Heart Association to bring women, especially together, to promote good heart health amongst women and in all communities. And last night they had a great concert, which I heard was just awesome. So awesome that people were asking for late checkouts at the hotel
Right.
because
Right.
the party was so great last night. Unfortunately, we missed it. And tonight we are going to host an evening at the Long Gallery in Harlem. You may have heard me talk about it, but it is a really incredible celebration of people who have been involved in the heart business and doing things in their community. And when I say in the heart business, one of my most precious recent memories is having the opportunity to talk to the president of the American Heart Association and the Heart Association's first Black female president, Dr. Michelle
Right.
Albert.
That's
And
dope.
just a really
Which she insists that we call her
call her
Michelle. And I'm like, how we gonna do that, doctor?
that's not happening, doctor. I'm sorry.
Right.
Too much respect for who she is and what she has done.
Right.
To say, hey, Mish.
Shell.
Right, right, right.
But Sybil,
Um,
before you go further, you say we are going to host. So now that's how we do it. It's the we. I'm
it's
just
the
I'm just trying
royal.
to I'm just trying to figure out who we are
Oh,
these
okay,
days.
okay. I can make fun of your unmade bed, and you can make fun of me for the
We.
royal
Well,
we.
what we are doing. All right
Huff,
then.
huff. I'm hosting, and one of the special guests is Dr.
Mhm.
Michelle Albert, as well as Star Jones,
Yeah,
who
your
has
girlfriend
been
Star Jones.
a
Yeah.
very big component of American Heart for a few years now. So, and I hope that you will the interview that I did with her. I like listening to it more than I like looking at it because I really am just a radio person. But
Okay.
I really enjoyed listening to it, and I hope people will enjoy listening to it as well. Sometimes you say we are our own worst critics. And when I say we, I mean we. Um, but as a result of that's the critic calling right now. But I really enjoyed listening to it more than I enjoy watching myself interview her. And there's some stuff I need to change in my pattern, I guess.
No, Sybil, but you know what? Let me just say, there is absolutely nobody really, period, for real, that does a better job interviewing luminaries. Because one of the things that you're great at doing is you really, really point out how great they are at what they do. And but you also somehow, some way, and I'm always biting my nails, figure out how to bring out the humanness, because at the end of the day, whether we are the president of the United States or some other country or some doctor or some bus driver, we all are human. And you have a way of making everybody just seem very, very human and very real. And that's what I got from her, because I was really intimidated when we
Yeah.
first got her on and we were talking to her, and
And
I
she's
was
a
up.
very powerful speaker. She's got this
Yes.
dominating voice, and it's a lot like, "Hello, doctor."
Right, right. But you made her giggle a couple of times. I was like, that's my girl. That
I
can't
was like,
nobody do that but the great
"Wow,
Sybil Wilkes.
well, thank
Yes.
you, So
Yes.
I hope that she enjoys it, and I hope that people will enjoy watching it as well. And can we continue this into because into our next section talking
Yeah.
about the What
Don't
You Need
worry
to Know
about it.
newsletter?
Don't worry.
Okay.
So listen, I still got to produce. Don't worry about breaking up into segments. And you're on a clock because we got a gig to do. So we got
We have
about
a
another.
gig.
I'm just saying. You got to wrap this up. Let's go. Let's go through some topics.
Okay, so let's talk about the weather because we have
Ooh,
been victims of the weather over the last couple of days. This is now Thursday. We've been trying to get here. Yolanda and I have been trying to get to New York City for the last 48 hours. And the weather has not, actually, it's been more than that. It's probably been about 60, 65 hours that we've been efforting to get to New York from Dallas, Fort Worth. And the weather has not been our best friend. Although other people have managed to get on flights that actually took off. What we managed to do, I don't know if you all saw us on Tuesday, but when Damon and Ahmed kindly stepped in and ran the show, I was calling in from a plane that never got off the ground.
right.
It took hours for us to get on this plane because our original flight was delayed, then canceled. We got on another flight, delayed, got on the flight, and then the pilot clocked out. According to the FAA rules, he couldn't fly any longer. So, and he's looking at his clock going, they got to de-ice and put gas in the tank in the next 17 minutes so we can take off, or else we have to turn back and go back to the terminal. And that's exactly what happened. We had to go back and get off the plane. And subsequently, that was about what, Yolanda? We were going to get on another flight and delay. And finally they canceled that at about 11:30 Tuesday night. So we were looking for a hotel so we didn't have to go all the way home and then we could be back at the airport early. That didn't work. And Uber was not very kind to us either. That's a whole nother issue, dealing with Uber and trying to find a car to come to Dallas Fort Worth area airport at 11:30, 12 o'clock at night and telling them where we wanted to go, how far, and making up the prices as they went along
Yeah.
because they can, because they got us by the whats. And so we finally got home and got up and went back to the airport yesterday evening. We were going to be on a late night flight because the earlier flights that we were on, like at a 9:30 and so forth and so on, they stopped saying it's been delayed and they just said this flight's canceled.
Right.
So we got back at for an 8:30 flight last night, Wednesday night, and this wasn't a direct flight, so we were going to have to go to Raleigh, Durham, and then from Raleigh spend 5 or 6 hours, and then fly into LaGuardia. Well,
Coach center seat. Yeah, there were only middle seats left.
Yeah, and so I kept going up to the desk going, so as they were moving people out of coach into first class, certainly there were some empty seats, right? So every time somebody would get, just hop out and go, oh, I got my first class upgrade. And I was like, so was that a window or was that an aisle?
Right.
And the guy's going, middle. Nope. Don't have anything for you, Sybil Wilkes. And so, and then they moved us to another gate.
Delay. We were delayed on that flight until it was supposed to leave at 8:30. So by 10:30, my girlfriend looked at me and said, we ain't doing this. And she found us a flight that was a direct that left this morning. Thank God. On JetBlue, my new favorite airline.
Your new favorite.
Yeah.
And it looked a little sketchy at first.
Yeah.
Because we sat on the ground for a very long time. And because it was supposed to leave at 6:30 this morning. And I think by the time we finally we moved away from the gate, it was 7:55. So an hour and a half. And but they had to de-ice and give us more fuel and stuff. But we got got decent seats, and we Yolanda curled up and went to sleep, and I was watching videos and trying to work. And
So
And
let
so
me
we
say
finally made
this,
it.
because I am very intentional about the words that I use for myself and that I allow other people to use. I was not a victim. I made a
Oh,
choice. Well, you say we were victims of, and I'm never a victim. I
okay.
chose to participate in this. But the thing about it, the one thing that I kept saying as we were going through this, just in my mind, that I really am an ambassador of peace and an ambassador of happiness. So
And
even
this
if
is
my
so true. This is so true. Go ahead, because I want to follow up on that.
even if my presence is just there to bring a smile to someone, to put a positive word into the space, into the universe, I would have been sitting at home watching Judge Judy. And so I was out the comfort of my bed, and I was at the airport, hopefully spreading, because people were really, really having a hard time. It was very, travel is very, very frustrating. And I did think a couple of times, bump this, we're not doing this. But I chose to say, this is my assignment, to be right here at this moment. What do I do to bring positivity into this space?
And you did, because later on that night, we ran into a couple who was sitting in front of us on the flight that was going to New York, and they were trying to get to New York to make a connecting flight to get to India,
Right.
and with a young child, which is,
Mm.
this kid was really he was better behaved than his parents. But
Right.
um, at one point, the woman turned to us and said, "I really enjoyed your positive sayings and your spirit,
Yeah.
and I've been repeating them to myself
Yeah.
as the evening went on."
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, yeah.
She was like, what did we say? I'm like, "Mm."
Let's just go with it. but but that's really is who she is, and so and people were gleaming that from her, and kind of she was spreading it. Her aura was such that it was one of positivity. And then last night we ran into a woman who was in the boarding area with us on the flight that was finally canceled at 11:30 Tuesday night, and she's like, "You guys, here we are again. Hey,
Yeah.
ladies, and her name was Danielle, and she was originally trying to get to a meeting in New York. Well, that didn't happen, and she had checked her luggage, so she didn't have any her clothes and stuff, and she couldn't. Uh, uh, Going home was too far for her, and so she was going then to take this flight last night to Raleigh Durham, drive 2.5 hours to Winston Salem for another day long set of meetings, and then come back. And so we were talking, and she said, "You guys just seem to be moving along.
Yeah.
This doesn't phase you." And you know what? We've dealt with so much. Well, I will say, with the type of stories that we've been dealing with this particular week, this
Oh, your
particular
whole career.
several. Well, the last several weeks in the Tyree Nichols murder.
But Sybil,
Um,
it's always, and,
it
and
is.
we're going to talk about that. But it is always something that is so, so heavy. And that's why, again, I look at the challenges that I face, coming from a privileged uh, position. It's like, the fact that I have incredible opportunities to do these incredible things. I mean, like, Sybil, you are about to really host American Heart Association's major event. That is freaking incredible. So if we have to go through some turmoils or some challenges, all right, cool. But thank you, God, for this incredible opportunity. For real.
Okay, now you just made me nervous, and so
It's all right. But nerves are
and,
good. That's okay.
and now I got to figure out what to do with my hair, and at least my outfit's ironed, so I'm good to go
Yeah.
there. But yeah,
Just
it
just just be civil and you win.
yeah. Well, let's hope. Um, so uh, even with another Uber driver going home last night, and talking to him, and we had an incredible Uber driver. We lucked up on really an angel driver
Right.
who took us from the jaws of a deceitful driver.
Ooh. Ooh,
And
that's dramatic. I like that.
and so we've had good luck on the road and in the skies,
Yeah,
and people who we were calling as we were making changes in our flights, who were just very kind, and even though people on the ground, the passengers may not have been as nice to them, these people were
right,
extremely uber nice, and
right.
uh, we lucked out, and as I
Well,
said,
but be
the
very, very
JetBlue
clear,
flight.
girlfriend. I am tired.
I too.
This is for the youth. The way we've
Yeah,
been doing it these past few days is for the
yeah.
youth. The old girl ain't what she used to be. I mean, the Tom Joyner days, this would have been one thing, but oh my God, Sybil, I'm too old for this. Oh,
Well, we're gonna get through it tonight and
yep.
have fun and
That'll be great.
celebrate the American Heart Association as well as the Impact with Heart Black History Month celebration. Once again at the Long Gallery in Harlem, and I'm very grateful and thankful for our partnership with American Heart, and look forward to continue to doing great things with them. So thank you very
Right.
much. Um, Let's talk about the What You Need to Know newsletter, Yolanda. This is our newsletter that we put out 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. And we talk about issues that are going on in our community. And as I just mentioned, the heaviness of the day yesterday,
Right.
as I was working and, I still had my backpack, so it wasn't a question of, trying to get together or anything, but watching the funeral of Tyree Nichols and
Mm,
watching his family and talk about this young man and his
yes.
friends, and it's just it it it, it was more than my heart could take,
Mm,
and such admiration for the grace of this family. His mother buried
his
her
mother. Oh my
baby.
God. But Sybil, she recognized, oh my
Yep.
gosh, she
Yeah.
recognized that her son was brought here for a purpose and
Yep.
he fulfilled his purpose. I'm like,
Yep.
oh my God, how
Exactly right.
magnanimous is that?
Yeah. That's exactly what I was
Oh,
thinking about. Yeah. Yeah.
whoa.
and
Oh,
and
how
and
beautiful.
his stepfather, he's
Yes.
calling for justice for Tyree, and everybody had their role that they played in this. His brothers and sisters, remembering the brother and the love and the light. I saw a feature on Nightline last night in which the great Byron Pitts was talking to his skateboarding buddies in
Mm,
California, and how this one man who literally grew up with him skateboarding, said that he could not watch the video. And this man's son said, "You have to watch this.
mm,
You have to see what happened to our friend."
right.
And they've started a GoFundMe, and now they have $1 million. They're going to do something in his
Praise
honor.
God. Praise
Yeah,
God. Yes.
regarding a skateboarding park in
Oh,
in his hometown. So
wow.
everything has a purpose, and it spread a light on Black skateboarders. A lot of folks
Okay.
like, who knew?
Right. Right.
His
Yeah.
mom talked about the fact that one year she wanted to buy him some Jordans. He's like, no, I don't want Jordans. I want some Vans, and Vans are the shoes that
Right.
skateboarders wear. And just reminded me of kids that I've known who picked up a camera and, like me, love a good sunset, and loved his son, loved his family, and loved a good cup of coffee, and skateboarding and sunsets.
Right.
And
Right.
he put a face, once again, as if we needed any more victims of this, but put a face on the police brutality wreaked upon Black people, young Black
Exactly.
people especially,
Yeah.
and the families that were there, that Reverend Al uh, pointed to, and had them come, and some one woman sang, and her son had just been killed over the last year. And just an incredible service. and um
And
and
also yes,
the vice
yes,
president
go girl, yes. She
for the
was
first time,
I'm
a
telling.
member of an administration, attended a funeral of one of those who was killed by police.
And her real black side showed up.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
was really, really emotional and
Yeah.
passionate. And it's like,
Quoted
whoa.
scripture.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, girl, yes.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
girl, with respect.
Vice
Vice
President.
President. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Yeah,
She was really good. She was really good.
That was awesome.
And Reverend Al always is wonderful. And that Ben Crump, I swear, he really is. I think Reverend Al is absolutely right to call Attorney Ben Crump the Attorney General of Black America, because I don't know when he rests. You know, I sent him a text the other day. I said, as you are lifting up the people of this family, we're lifting you up in prayer too, because it can't be easy. And
well, he was on with DL the other night, and DL said, "Man, you know, I've been talking to you for a long time. You look tired." I'm like, "Wow." He's like, "Yeah, you gotta be tired."
Yeah. Yeah. And he's not only, you know, handling this case, he's handling the case against the gosh darn governor of Florida and the advanced placement history curriculum that the governor is trying to take away. So
are we transitioning? Because I want to ask you about that.
Okay, sure.
So I'm not asking you to go off of the operation of his mind.
Mm-hmm. Of DeSantis?
Of Governor DeSantis.
Oh, thank goodness, because I can't. I don't have it.
And so I know that it is just very quick for us to say that he's just racist. So given, notwithstanding that, is it my understanding that he want to extract Black history, but we could talk about Asian, Hispanic, Irish. So how does he say that? What does that mean? How can you?
I don't think he feels as though he has to explain it. It is, who was it? Like Kanye said years ago about a former president, you don't like Black people.
But okay, I accept that. I accept that part. But even when he and his friends are in the room, or his colleagues, or his people, whoever they are, when they're in saying, "This is what we go do. This is what we go say," nobody said, "Let's shape this another way." Nobody said, "Okay, let's figure out." It's some smart people in this world.
Because
somebody could have said, they could have shrouded this in some way to make it look different. This is the most blatant thing that I've seen.
It's blatantly racist. You're absolutely right. But that's who their base is. And they don't have to explain it to their base.
But their base don't like brown people either. They don't like anybody.
They like the conservative brown people that send them money and give them and support them.
Right.
Because you know, there are a lot of brown people who don't want immigrants to come over from another country from, I'm
not looking at that. So that,
no, but I'm just saying, but I'm saying they're not calling him on that because that's, you know, if he would remove Hispanic history, that way they would be okay with it too. But he does not like Black people.
Ooh. I'm gonna have to call my girlfriend Tracy, because Tracy will have a reason why he don't like him. She'll know what happened to him in his past on why he don't.
I don't want to know any more about him because he is such a distasteful human being. I don't want to delve into it. I don't need any more stories about Donald Trump. I don't need anything about Ron DeSantis or Kevin McCarthy, or that they were mistreated by some Black bullies when they were growing up.
Right.
I wish they had kicked them in the mouth and they would never able to talk again.
No, we don't wish that. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Next.
So that was we were talking about the funeral and how the president, I think as we speak, is meeting with the Congressional Black Caucus and talking about getting the George Floyd Justice and Policing Bill passed because, as Vice President Kamala Harris said, we failed, and we failed
Right.
you, we failed your children to get this passed, and I promise you, the Congress has to get this passed, and the president will sign it. And so this is the tough part. This is the difficult sell, because no matter what the president's heart is, no matter what his political intent is, the bottom line is, if they can't get just a couple of Republicans to come over and vote with them, it ain't gonna happen.
Wow.
It ain't gonna happen in the United States House. And just that slim vote, one vote that they have in the Senate, that could do it. But if they come up against the filibuster, nope,
Right.
nope. And that, once again, that brings us back to why we should register to vote.
100%. But Sybil, even as we just really focus on this young man, Tyree, that wouldn't have done anything to make what happened to him not happen. I mean, those cops that did that to him,
Yeah.
they're
And
not looking at the laws and what the laws say do. They're not looking at that.
They don't give a damn about the law.
Mm-mm.
Right.
But so let me just go on record as saying this, because just for my peace of mind and how I operate in the universe, I have to look to see some positivity. And one of the things is piggybacking off what his mother said. This young man gave his life for this cause, and his name, we will know his name forever. But also my prayer, my prayer, and I haven't said this out loud, but just in my heart and just meditating on this, is I really feel for these men, for their loved ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those boys got some black mamas. They got some wives. They got some childrens, and they are scarred because of the actions of them.
Yeah.
And so my heart and my prayer, I send to them for them to have some peace within this terrible, terrible time, for what it's worth.
I wonder, and I'm not as a parent, but just as a family member, what I wouldn't give for their name not to be known and to keep them here.
What does that mean? I'm sorry. Say that a different way. I don't
understand.
So,
their names will go down in history. Rodney King, George Floyd, Dante Wright, Breonna Taylor.
Oh, right. Yeah, right. I understand.
I would give anything as a parent for my child's name to never be known.
That's true.
And to be a hero, as it were, for the cause, and have them here.
Or it might be how I perceive what Tyree's mother's name. I mean, Tyree's mother, if she believes that this was his purpose and this was his destiny, then I think yield to what God has for you.
For sure. Yeah, you're right. I know you're not supposed to question, but certainly I think that's the way maybe it's a form of rationale that one uses in order to get through the most difficult thing, because we all know that parents are not supposed to bury their children.
Right.
And it's a horrific outcome of a situation.
Okay, so you got 10 minutes. What else you got to share with me?
Okay. This is also from the What You Need to Know newsletter. This is our Monday through Friday newsletter, which we would love for you to subscribe to. It's go to SybilWilkes.com, give us your name and your email address, and we will have it in your email box every Monday through Friday morning. And this little newsletter. I know I had it. Oh, and if you find like a friend of ours just text us and says she's not getting the newsletter, and if you find that, go to SybilWilkes.com and give us your email address, and we'll have it back, put you back on the subscription list, and it won't cost you a thing. How's that? Is that good, Yolanda?
That's good, Sybil. So are you using your Wi-Fi from your phone to connect?
Am I lagging?
You are going in and out, but keep going.
Oh, I'm
We'll work
phasing.
through it.
Uh, okay. Yeah, we're not only are we working on fumes.
But we're working.
The
Praise
the
God.
tech the yeah, the technicals are a little challenging.
Yeah.
One thing I do want to point out is that it's Thursday, and our mental health and wellness contributor is very much appreciated. Aprilette Russell comes in with a story regarding mental health and wellness in the community, and a reminder that she's not a specialist, but she really does bring attention to some of the issues that are going on in our community, and we really appreciate her and what she does on a regular basis.
Cora Malone for our
Notice.
social justice. She talks about a black
Oh my
woman
gosh.
awarded $1 million after a gas station
This
attendant
was
told her,
crazy.
"I don't serve black people."
Right. All she wanted to do was on her way home get some gas. And this guy and it's a law about pumping. You cannot pump your own gas. It's not a self-serve thing in Oregon, I guess. And this
Wow.
white attendant served everybody except, and she kind of followed like, I need some gas. And he turned back and looked at her and said, I don't serve black people. You don't pump
Wow.
gas. You don't do your job because I'm a black
Not for
woman.
black people.
And
Mm-mm.
at first she was embarrassed and she wasn't going to do anything. And I think her friends encouraged her to take action. And the end result was almost
$1
$1 million.
million.
Yeah, in a jury trial.
Good for her.
I
Good for
bet you'll
her.
serve them now.
Well, the money probably didn't come from the lady who didn't serve it. I'm sure insurance took care of it, but that's a whole nother thing.
Well, not only that, but the company, the gas
Right.
company, the fuel company, and the owner of the gas station had to put that money up.
Why did the fuel company have to? That's
Well,
just the
because
way it
they're
is.
represented. I mean,
Oh,
that's their company,
wow.
and this
Oh,
person
good.
represented them.
Okay. I bet you watch who you hire to pump your gas next time.
You're right. Exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the what's really going on, and I want to talk about you because you've had an incredibly brilliant career, both in producing and also with your heart for young people, especially young girls, and the calling that is on your life. Do you find it difficult because you shared something with me about, what we're doing here is good, and with the newsletter and the show and all of the activities that we're now being asked to participate in, but your heart is with your husband, but also it's with helping young people. And you've written several books about, what you got from your dad and what you want to share with young girls. And you've had programs sharing with them about how to carry themselves and to feel about themselves and increasing their self-esteem and what have you. And now you find yourself in a position where you are, I want to say you're pulled in two different directions, but you're not doing what you're meant to do.
Well,
Do
so
you
funny
feel
you
that?
should say that. It's funny you should say that because I just got off the phone with Lexi, my baby girl, the one of the main women who I have helped shepherd through life, who is an amazing human being. But I was just speaking with her, and she was just asking me like an hour ago, and I was telling her I feel like I have more to give now.
Hmm.
So I wrote that book almost 20 years ago, Jewels from My
Wow.
Daddy, that I'm passing on to my girlfriends. I
Right.
wrote that about 20 years ago, but now not just life experience, but the tools that I have to really, really encourage not just young people, but all of us to not to be so anxious.
Hmm.
The breathing techniques, the positive self-talk, the shift in the mindset, the work that it takes to do that. with all of the classes and seminars and workshops that I have
And she will
attended.
take a class in a seminar, baby.
But I really think that I really have even more. And so I am so thankful that God presented me with an opportunity to start this business with you. This is something that I could not have even dreamed of. But out of everything I've done, from working with Tom Joyner, from BET to working with Suzanne DePass, this really is my most rewarding work that I have done to date. I am so proud to work with you and what we do. And I believe that this platform through you is going to create an opportunity for us to spread even more than what even to spread even more so, um the idea that we can live a happy life and how we
Mhm.
do that. And
Yeah,
so I
and I
don't
think
feel
you share
pulled.
that. I think you share
Yeah.
that with the jewels every day too.
Yes. 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 So no, I don't feel pulled. I think I may have hinted to that, but that's not what I meant. I just meant
Hmm.
that, Jeremiah 29, one of my favorite scriptures, says, "For I know the plans
Plans.
that I have for you, says the Lord." I believe that God has a plan for me, and I am on this journey, and it is just my desire to go the way He says fit, because I don't know what I'm doing. I really
Can you
don't.
say that word when you're talking about the Lord and the plans He has for you?
Ooh, what did I say? Girl. Oh, your girlfriend will call you out and keep you honest. Did you have to call that? I don't even know what I said, and I don't even want to know. But the
That's okay.
point is, we're on a path, and I'm so thankful to be on this path and this journey with you, because I honestly, as confident as I am in what I'm doing, I really don't think that I could do this without you. Or let me just
Right.
say this: if I had to do it without you, I would, but I
Absolutely. You
don't
can
want
push
to.
me out the way and keep moving.
But I don't want to. It is
Yeah.
my heart's desire to go through this, because, I'm not that political, but you have taught me through legislation and activism. That's how things really change. I am on the other side, and what you do is so, so, so. As President Obama said at the White House, said, Sybil, you are just so important to our community. And so, as you do that, I just want to ride on your coattail and spread some joy and happiness for real. And
Well,
that's the
it's not
honest to
on my
God's truth.
coattail. I think we're making this side by side, and it is a
No, people take
powerful.
my call because of Sybil. They don't care about Yolanda Starks White. It is hey, Sybil Wilkes. I use that Sybil Wilkes name a lot, and it works. So I'm aware of that.
I used to listen to her growing up. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's her. Yep, yep, yep. We push her along in a wheelchair now.
But Sybil, we got a
But
lot to do. We have a lot to do, and it's a lot to be done, but it's doable. It's
yeah.
really doable. What we have to do is really doable, and we're going to have fun doing it.
Hmm.
We're going to have fun doing it, and we're going to do it in loving, nurturing. I have, like, my sister, my good friends, they always saying, well, I'm old school. I'm old school. Well, what we are learning is old school might not be um, palatable for young people
Right.
to get what they need to matriculate through this life. And
Hmm.
so, um, I would like to contribute, and I know that I have to change my mindset and how we deal with, but not just young people, but I talk to older people too. Just anxiety is just so high
Real.
now.
It's real.
It's not just young people. I'm gonna correct myself in that. We all need motivation, encouragement,
And I think
to
coming through
just
the pandemic has really spoken to that in terms of the levels of anxiety
mm-hmm,
as well as the age groups that are affected by it.
right.
Young children are affected by anxiety. Older people are affected by anxiety. People who have been through what they thought was the worst of everything and said,
Right.
I thought I'd seen it all. And
Right.
and and yet, here we are. It's at a new level.
And it is what it is, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But how you deal with it is what's important, and how you see
Right.
it, because it
And your
is what it
mindset.
is, and your mindset. So I'm excited, and so I wasn't expecting for you to ask me about this, but
Mm-hmm.
the fact that you did, we're gonna put it out into the universe that we have some exciting workshops, seminars, information that we are going to be developing and putting out, so we can be a part of the good and the positivity that this world has to
And spread the
offer.
good word. Yeah.
Spread the good word. Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow.
I'm excited. I'm excited about what the future holds, but especially for you and for the people that are going to experience your demonstration of appreciating the good things and carrying on the good things in life.
You mean like a marathon of Law and Order? I'm just saying, because if you ask me what I want, that would, girl,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
in a
You know
bed
how
just
much Law
like
and
that.
Order there is? Right, right, right.
There's a lot
I
of
can't
Law and
even
Order
get
to
near my
watch.
bed. I can't even get near mine yet. So
Well, I'm just saying there's a lot of Law and Order to watch, and a nice comfy bed to do it from.
that's right.
Life
And
is good. But
yeah,
we'll do that other stuff that God has for me to
yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Okay, okay.
All right.
So I think that is something that we should just kind of put out there and just see how it flies,
Okay.
and because I know that people are responding to your jewels that you get out there every day,
Girl, who'd have
and
thought that?
I know. And I mean, I was talking to a friend who works in the White House and said, I catch her, and there you are.
Who'd have thought that? And all I want people to do is just breathe and and say something positive to yourself.
Hmm.
It's just that.
And look in the mirror and don't go, "Good morning, beautiful."
Right, right. Exactly. All right, cool. Can we
Oh
wrap
wow.
this up? You got something to do in a
I
couple of
know,
hours.
I know, I know. Do you have the jewel for today? I
Yep.
think I
Yes,
have
as a
it. Oh,
matter of
you do?
fact, I do have a jewel.
Oh,
Yep.
cool. Okay. Okay.
So Yogi's jewel today, if everybody can just take a deep inhale and fully exhale. And your jewel is, when you take your health seriously, you take your life seriously.
Amen.
Amen. That's Yogi's Jewels for today.
Good
Thank you,
job,
Sybil.
Yolanda. Good
Good job, Sybil.
job.
Thank you. I love you more than you
Thanks.
know. I appreciate you more than you know. And thank you for the opportunity to do life with you.
I wouldn't have anybody else on this adventure. I would not. I promise you.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for
All
joining the
right.
girlfriends here
Blessings.
today. Go out there and be good to each other, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
Aloha.
Aloha.